Yo, what's up, bro? So, have you ever experienced someone saying like, "Oh, we shouldn't live like our ancestors. We shouldn't eat our ancestors' diet because they only lived till 30 and like why are we following the ways of people who only lived like till like they were 20 years old?" I want to tell you that I just did some research this morning. And bro, that's fucking bullshit too. If you look consistently at all like the modern day like advice that like the government and shit are pushing, you look and it's like almost everything is like the opposite of what is actually true. You know the reason the average life expectancy from birth was 30 back, in our hunter-gatherer ancestors' days, the cavemen days, because they had very high rates of infant mortality. And if you don't know what that is, it actually literally means infant death, like the death of infants, like newly born babies. And this is usually caused by like birth defects and malnutrition. It's like those aren't problems anymore. We see that infant mortality was very high. It was very high rates of infant mortality back in our ancestors' days. But if you look at the people who got it past like early childhood, they lived till we do now. They lived like the once you're past childhood, if you just subtract, if you just don't look at like the first couple years of their life, of people's lives, you see like the life expectancy was like 65 to 80 years old. There are people that lived easily past like 80 years old back in our hunter-gatherer caveman, whatever the fuck, tribe days. There were people that lived easily then. They didn't live so fucking bad as we thought they did. They didn't live such a harsh, like, short life as we thought. If you, like, the problem with looking at, like, the average of this type of data is that on one side, there's, like, a lot on one side and a lot on the other side, and then there's, like, barely anything in the middle. But then the mean is, like, the average is in the middle, so it makes it seem like everyone died at 30, but really, like, everyone died either really young or really old. So it's, like, you think we died, like, young, like, at 30 years old, but the people that lived past their, like, infant mortality days, they lived till, like, 65 to 80 years old. In infant mortality, we don't have these problems anymore. We don't have a lot of birth defects. We don't have a lot of, like, because we have a lot more knowledge on, like, giving birth and shit. And we don't have malnutrition anymore. We don't have this problem of, like, infant mortality anymore. So now our life expectancy is is up near like 65 to 80 years old. That's what our ancestors used to live. They just had high rates of infant mortality, so it's just skewed to like 30, 40 years old. It's just like, it's so fucked up because then that makes you think like that makes you like just, it completely changes your ways. Everyone gives you the advice, oh, we only live till 30 years old back in our, like, hunter-gatherers only lived to 30 years old. If you look at some, like, common hunter-gatherer, like, tribes today that still are, like, here, they have people in their 80s, like, fucking climbing trees. Like, bro, they're fine, dude. They're living long. There is this narrative of fucking, we should be more modern. We should not live in nature. We should be fucking put all these chemicals in ourselves and like freaking antibiotics and shit so that we like because we used to live till 30, so, this is why we live so long now. No, it's not. It's because we have lower rates of infant mortality. We're better nourished. We're too nourished, actually. We're too nourished. And we don't have rates of infant mortality anymore, and that's not caused by their lifestyle. That's just like, well, I mean, like, it is, but we don't have those problems anymore. Those aren't caused by, like, the way they lived when they were past, like, childhood. That's not, like, if you're older than 2 years old, like, if you live like our hunter-gatherer ancestors, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be, like, much better off than we are now. You're gonna be much better off. So if you're any past to, like, 2 years old, I think you're gonna be better off if you, like, it's just so fucked up, because you take this, like, the modern day world and the government and all this bullshit, everyone takes just some data set, some kind of sketchy data set, and kind of, like, messes with it a little bit, kind of makes it seem like something is, and it actually kind of isn't. And it just fucks with you, because you have this skewed, like faulty kind of data. And then they push that and show, like, oh, like, look, our ancestors only lived till 30, so you shouldn't live like them, like, they were unclean and shit. It's just fucked. Like, if you look at the Hadza hunter-gatherers, they have, like, people in their 60s, like, literally, like, hunting and running as fast as they can. They're actually, like, they have, like, got some, like, 50 people in their 50s, like, actually, like, fucking catching a deer, like, with their bow and arrow, and, like, running after the shit, and catching, like, baboons and shit. It's like, they're not, like, fucking dying at 30. They're just rare to die at 30. Like, if you look at our hunter-gatherers in today's world, our hunter-gatherers did not live till 30. They did not live till fucking 30. It's so fucked up to see. If you just look at all the modern-day advice, almost all of it's, like, the opposite of what you should be doing, the opposite of the truth. And I don't mean to sound, like, egotistical or something, but, like, it's just the truth. Like, you might want to just, like, listen to me, because I'm really looking deep into the evidence. I'm really looking deep into it, and I'm using, like, fucking common sense. I'm really, like, questioning everything that I read. I'm taking all the advice that I hear with, like, a pinch of salt. I'm seriously doing research on it, and the more that I do research, the more that I find this shit out, the more that I realize we're just fucking with the evidence, so that makes it look like something else is true that it isn't. So, don't listen to all the advice just, like, blindly. Do your own research. Seriously look into it and ask questions about it. Like why is that actually true? Like, if you find out something that, like, if you hear, I don't know, LDL cholesterol is gonna fucking increase your risk for heart attack. And then you really look deeper and you see all those studies that showed that, those are all done on people that were, like, insulin resistant, and they were, like, fucking metabolically unhealthy and just, like, fucked up, and they had all their LDL was oxidized, so they had high LDL, but all that shit was oxidized. So if you're healthy and you have a high LDL, it's most likely not going to be oxidized and small and dense. It's going to be large, buoyant, most likely not oxidized. You need to look deeper on this shit. You need to look deeper. You need to realize that it's not, you can't just take advice just blindly. You can't just think, like, oh, our ancestors lived till 30, because they didn't live till 30, they lived till 70, 80 years old, dude. They lived longer than some of us. They lived longer than, like, a good amount of us. So what are we saying? Why are we saying we shouldn't be like them? it's just stupid. We want to push like this, all these chemicals and estrogenic shit, and just shit that's gonna make the government money, make everyone money. We need to start pushing the truth. We need to start looking deeper and really asking questions about everything you hear. Because if you ask questions about it, like, you start to see, wait, shit, this angle wasn't looked at. Like, we didn't look at this angle. We should have seen this before. And, like, actually this evidence was kind of skewed and fucked up because we would just want to make money. Now, it's not true like this for everything, but every bit of advice out there. But, like, obviously, the fact that we're pushing exercise, like, yeah, obviously that's, like, good. The fact that we're pushing good sleep, yeah, that's good, obviously, like, duh. But a lot of advice out there is just shit. It's completely opposite of what we should be doing. Now, I just want you to know that you should take every bit of advice you get with a pinch of salt. Don't just take advice. Start asking questions. Why then? Like, why? If you hear a bit of advice, oh, you shouldn't do this. Why? Oh, because of this. Why? Why is this bad? Why this? Okay, this raises your fucking LDL. Why is that bad? Because it causes heart disease. Why? If you think about it like that, they don't know why. They just read some, like, fucking study of someone just saying that. They don't know why. If you ask more questions about why, you start to see most advice is just bullshit. Most advice is just, like, it's just shallow. So start asking questions of why. Start going deeper into it. And you'll see this shit is bullshit. Our ancestors did not live till 30. They lived well, like, probably a little bit more than us. Peace out. See you in the next video. Hope you're doing well. Mwah.